But knowing you like I'm getting to know you, I think that some beautiful truth tips are going to come out now. Ways to have people get up from their where they're sitting. Okay. The problem that we have in life is people that are beaten down, they don't have the strength of mind to take the advice and the wisdom because they're basically living a depressed life. They're living in a mentality, and conversation doesn't work. A lot of people, they've got to get to the bottom of the barrel, like Napoleon Hill found out that the 500 people in the book Think and Grow Rich, the masterpiece that got it all started, that's what he realized, that almost without exception of the 500 people that are the most successful people that he knew, they all experienced the bottom of the barrel, where they got to a place where they had to strip themselves from everything and say, I will never let life do this to me again. Okay. Now, I've had those experiences, and I'm trying to get focused. Jim Stovall is going to be a guest soon on this series, and he's helped me immensely as a mentor to help me eliminate distractions. And we've already talked a little bit about that. But I'm looking for something more concrete. That we're not psychologists. You and I are not psychologists. We're children of God that love our brothers and our sisters. And I got to tell you, that's better than straight psychology. That's coming from the source. Okay. Now, there's a lot of wonderful psychologists out there that can deal with very, very deep situations, but love is the answer. We know that. So I know that we're going to love people. We're going to be there for people. We're going to have compassion for people, but we're having a hard time in our lives, all of us, when we have certain people that we so desperately pray for, and we want to pick them up so they can experience the riches and the abundance that life really has in store for them. But that's the hardest part of my journey, is when I'm I specialize in giving my time. I'm not saying that the people that I work with are remedial, but it's as if I'm the remedial person that tries to get people up so they can start absorbing. Once you get them reading and moving forward and desiring, and that's, knowing their desire, sure. But can you give us a lot of, I want you to go wherever you want to go in this, because I know you have strong feelings, ideas, a lot of truth here. Share some wisdom to all the people that have people in their lives that have not lived their life the right way, that haven't been truthful with others, that haven't developed trust, that haven't understood from the lip to the hip is, honoring their commitment. So I'm asking you specifically, so we got 7-8 minutes. I'm asking you specifically to take the bulk of that time and just come up with something from your heart. I know it's not unprepared, because this is not I don't do scripts on this show. I don't give people a list of questions, but I want to talk to the people that are trying their most to pray for people that they love, that they just can't get them to get started, because those people are rejecting they're rejecting the love. They're too down. They're too depressed. They know, thanks for loving me, but okay, thanks. I hear you. What can we do to really, and the answer is loving them. But let's go a little more into some practical things that we can try to do to pick these people up and get them to start to want to seek the truth.
Okay, so are we dealing with the people who are not doing it, or are we dealing with the people who want to help them? Or do you want to deal with a little bit of both?
Well, I want to deal with a little bit of both. So let's start. We are people that want to help them.
Right.
So how do we do that so that we're effectively helping them move forward?
Okay, so this is the way I'll do it. Let's talk about the people that are helping. We have to be careful that we're not enabling. And that's a real critical word, because if we use the great physician as our focus, use Jesus, I say that I want to be more like Jesus. However, I want to control what my child does. That's not what he does. You know what I'm saying? So I want to do it, but I want to do it on my terms. I want them to do it, but I want to do it on their terms. I love what you talked about on the episode I listened with you and Leckford. You talked about a woman that, you know, her and her husband was going through some stuff, but she asked God to show her who this man was going to be on the other side when he accepted God. And so she stayed there. Now their relationship is amazing. Now I don't want us to go back into that. What I want us to do is kind of use that as a springboard. Because what happens is what I know about what we have to know about the people that we're helping is that it's not by my power nor my might. It is by the Lord's power and might. He has more invested in us as a person than we do. I went through this thing with my daughter. My daughter, she's actually a psychologist. You know, I think, you know, anyway, but she went through this season. She went to Virginia Tech and all that good stuff. And when she was down there, she called me and said something really crazy that was so unlike her. And I started crying out to the Lord and rolling in the floor and all that. And the Lord did not respond to that. You know what he responded to? After I finished acting like I had lost my mind, screaming and hollering and telling and reminding him that it was, you know, it's me, oh Lord. What he said is, he said, I have more invested in her than you do.
Oh, I want to clap.
He said, she is the gift I gave to you. You are only a steward.
Thank you.
She belongs to me. And that's what I would encourage people to say, no matter what, because the people, the underserved population has to go through a transformational development. And we have to transform as well. Because we want to say something and we want people to back it up because we know it's true.
It's not our responsibility to take that situation.
Exactly.
It's not up to the Lord. That's what I believe.
Absolutely. And that's part of it. We take them to the Lord, but we want to pick them up when we walk away. We take them and lay them at the altar, but when we get up, we still got them. That's the problem. Because we said, well, the Lord didn't see it. You know, God, I need to help them. No. It's what y'all talked about. You have to put your oxygen mask on first. You make sure that you're whole. You make sure that you've changed. What I have done with people that I have as I coach for transformational development, they have to sign an agreement from the beginning. On that agreement, we talk about what they want to do. I let them structure what they want to do. I said, and when I go back to it, I said, you're the one who said that you wanted to build another business. I said, has that changed? And they said, well, no. I said, okay, so the information is, so what are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your resources? It doesn't align with what you said. So there's a disconnect from your lip to your hip. There's a disconnect.
You brought it around for me.
So there's a disconnect.
Are you doing what you said you're going to do? So, yes.
So the other thing is what I wrote down, and it's really interesting. I wrote down this before we got started because, you know, the Lord deals with us very differently. This is what I would encourage us all to do. It's to not judge people based on the current frame in their movie. To not judge them based on this, because this is only a frame. If you look at it from movie making, actually in movie making, they go to the end and then they back up and make it all happen for the end. They found the end that they want and then they work it. Same with the way God does with us. He knows our end. So he's already figured it out. We have to trust him. So what we have to do as the person who's providing that support is we have to gird up our trust in him, in God, to know that he has more invested in them. And if they choose, this is the critical piece. I can't change your choice. I can fight you. I can do all the crazy stuff sometimes we do as parents. Some things we do to help other people because we see so much in them, but we can't make them choose. And what happens with that is that's not transformation. That's change. Transformation is like a butterfly. Once you transform, you choose as a human not to go back. See, some of the things that I dealt with before in my life, they still try to crawl up in my head and say, go back and do that, girl. You can do that. No, I can't. because I choose not to. It's not because I'm not capable. It's not because I don't have the capacity or the capability to do it. The person has to choose to do it. So that's the one thing. Don't judge people based on the current frame. And then the other thing is to remind ourselves that we're kings and queens and this is kingdom. To stop separating our stewardship and saying, well, that's the world, that's the business world, and this is church. God made everything. It is his kingdom, and all of us are one. So, and then the last thing I would say is remind us that Napoleon Hill lifted up 6 ghosts of fear. Y'all talked a little bit about outwitting the devil, but 6 ghosts of fear. And remember that this is real. When you're dealing with poverty, you're dealing with criticism, you're dealing with all those things, whether it be ill health, this is real. And what you have to do is you have to change. The best way to really the best way to encourage change in someone else is for us to change. Because if I stop giving, if I stop doing stuff, and I don't mean do it out of love and not love them. However, I can love you and step back a little bit. I can love you and say, okay, this is a good book. You read it. It's on Audible. You listen to it. It's on YouTube. Watch it. Watch our time. Watch our money. Watch it, because God's going to hold us accountable for what he assigned us to do. So remember that. It is not from a perspective of being selfish. It's from the perspective of being selfless. And as a servant, we serve. And if I offer you a banquet table in front of you, all the riches and all the things that God would have for us, and you sit at that table and you decide not to partake, it is not another person's fault that you starve. It's just not your fault.
Johnnie, you are amazing.
Oh, you bless you.
Oh, no, you're amazing. I just love what you just spoke. I mean, I gave you something from my heart that's a puzzle for everybody. And you gave an answer that just grounded it. You spoke the truth to it. You didn't say, well, if you do these 14 things, this person's going to be just fine. So get them to read my book. No, we're not about buying my book. So Johnnie, we're going to have to end it now. I used on the very first show, From the Lip to the Hip, I used Proverbs 3:6 to end the show. And I'll do that again today.
Okay.
Because you've said it all today. People have to go back.
If I may say one thing before you go forward.
Please do.
I just want to thank you. Thank you for this platform. Thank you for your heart, because this is a heavy subject, and it's going to help somebody. And I just want you to know, if it's one person or if it's 20 million, that God's going to honor what you're doing, and he's going to bless you. He's going to continuously bless you.
Well, I appreciate that, but I have to tell you, he's already blessed me more than any human being that I know.
Oh, praise him.
I'm not concerned about God blessing me, because he blesses me constantly. But thank you for your love. So you're going to be back on the show many times. I know that, because we're sharing, what we're doing is the same. This platform is yours as well as mine. So thank you for participating. The table's been set and you're partaking, and God gave us this opportunity. Well, Proverbs 3:6. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He is the one who will keep you on track. Well, Johnnie, thank you for sharing today. Thank you for being here. Everyone, go back and listen to this, and just every one of you, be blessed and have a wonderful week. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Right Thinking with Steve Copeland. I look forward to being with you again next week. And remember, don't quit, plan ahead, it will get better. God bless you and have a great week.